Well, guys, we are on the 17 acres for the first time. I just walked the whole thing. It's pretty thick in there. Need to thin these pine trees out. They're about 18-year-old pine trees. Pretty big. A whole bunch of them in there are big enough to hunt out of in a tree saddle or tree stand. They're not huge, but they are big enough. And I did find a nice, looked like a buck, nice spread out hooves in a little creek back there. It's a seasonal creek. It's not live water on it. But here's the corner. 17 acres goes this way. I'm going to go set up a camera and put a pile of corn and see if anything comes to it. So let's go set that up. As kids get married, when parents are buried, as grandkids appear, life sometimes austere. But one thing I know, this life is not slow. It's Jesus I'll follow, so life is not hollow. What about you? Well, guys, I'm on my 17 acres I bought in Oklahoma here. And I saw what I wanted to see on the camera. He's not a huge buck, but looks like he's about 3.5, maybe 4.5 years old. But good enough for me to kill a buck for the first time on the property I just bought. So I'm gonna go to town and get a license. I've got all my stuff hanging in the tree already. And tomorrow morning, it's on. Lots of doe showing up too, so hopefully let's get that buck down, or maybe even a bear won't come in. So I'll see you in the morning in the tree. All right, guys, I'm gonna do a quick interview. I'm walking to the stand. It's once I get in there, I gotta be really quiet because I don't know where the deer are coming from or where they're bedding. So I'll be happy if I shoot a doe. I'll be ecstatic if I shoot that buck too. I should be able to have a chance at least at a doe. Hopefully that buck will come in. I'm gonna sit all day in the stand. So I got about a 12-hour, 11-hour sit maybe, something like that. No, not that long, maybe 10 hours. So hang tight. Hopefully we get something down here today on my new property in Oklahoma. So unfortunately, guys, I actually deleted the footage of these deer coming in, so I only have my point of view camera to show you here. But I actually had these doe come in twice, and both times they came in 20 yards, and both times when I was pulling back, they saw me and hightailed it out of there. It was very, very frustrating. But anyways, that was the story for hanging in the tree. Man, that was close. Dang it. I just needed that doe to stay there about 3 more seconds. I could have killed her. I saw him coming in right here. Gotta flip the camera on. I think those are the same doe that busted me this morning when I came in. They busted me. Hopefully that buck will come in and I'll hear him coming and I'll be all set up to kill him. So I left with nothing to show for the trip, but I actually had a day that I could head back up there, so I went back up there, but this time I was gonna sit in a blind because those deer kept picking me out of the tree. So watch what happens with this. Guys, we're in the blind. It's about 8:30 11-ish, something like that. I've been in the blind since about 6:30, which was about 20-30 minutes before shooting light. Had some deer come in behind me about, 15 minutes into shooting light. And they blew. And I assume they either smelled me or saw the blind because the wind is blowing this way. So, I don't know. They sound like they might have been 30 yards behind me. And then I did have a doe come out in front of me right over here. And she blew as well and took off. Probably because she just saw the blind. I had to set this up in the dark last night. Because I just got here last night in the dark. And slept in the truck to hunt this morning. Got this new muddy blind. Because I knew it was going to rain. I don't know if you can hear the rain hitting the top. But it's been a steady sprinkle rain. By in between 11, 12 o'clock, about 12 o'clock, the temperature will be taking a drastic drop. Going from about 44 degrees, 45-ish, which it is right now, probably about 40. It's going to take a drastic drop down to, by the time I get out of the blind in the evening, it will probably be about 18 to 20 degrees. And then by 12 midnight, it's supposed to be around 8 or 9 degrees. So, got a blast of Arctic air coming. And I'm hoping that gets those deer this afternoon on their feet coming to I piled some corn out there, just threw a bunch of corn out there. So, hopefully they're going to come around. We'll see what happens. So I should have taken time to brush that blind in the night before when I put it up, because I had these deer come in. The doe came in, but they never came in closer than about 40 yards through the thick trees, and just stood there and stared at that blind, so they never came in. So I actually got out and brushed the blind in as best I could in the spur of the moment, and then this happens. So these deer show up again. But I tell you what, they just did not like that blind. That blind didn't have enough time to sit there for them to get used to it. And so they sat there and they stared and they walked around a little bit. But they never came in, never really gave me an opportunity to shoot. As you can see, I'm sitting as still as I can in that blind, just to try to keep any movement down so I can shoot them. But they eventually just kind of turned around and said, I don't like what I see, and just took off.
That's going to be a wrap for my Oklahoma hunt. It is freezing cold, and it looks like I got skunked. Anyways, had a good time. Saw the doe 3 times this time, busted me each time because this tent blind is just too new. I'm going to go ahead and post this because I'm going to be done for a while. So we'll see you next time on the Indian Creek Bowhunting Journal.